welcome to the 1999 SATV annual membership meeting and Mardi Gras party. And now, laissez les bons temps rouler. Let the good times roll. Whoops. Hello again. Whoops, wait a minute. I gotta wait for my cue. Hello again. And I'm glad you're all here tonight. My name is Ron Cox. I'm the production and training coordinator at SATV. And we're in for a treat. And I want to welcome you all here to the Salem Access Television Studios. Here, live, we are coming live here on March 18th. If you're watching, it's not too late to come down here and join the fun in our festivities. But before I go any further, I would like to introduce our host for this evening, the Executive Director of Salem Access Television. Please join me in welcoming Robert Mio. All
right, Ron.
All right, you ready for it?
We're ready for it.
All right, party down.
All right. Well, this is going to be a great event, I think.
It really is, and I'm really excited. You know, there's a lot of similarities between New Orleans and Salem.
You know, they are both historic seaports.
That's right. You know, it's funny because they both have Buccaneers, Pirates, and tacky T-shirts.
You know, and they both have rivers, too.
You know, that's incredible. They both have rivers. That's right. New Orleans has the mighty Mississippi, and Salem, of course, has that nappy North River.
You know, in both cities, both New Orleans and Salem do celebrate a popular festival every single year.
That's right. New Orleans, of course, has 2 weeks of Mardi Gras, and Salem, of course, has what seems like 3 months of haunted happenings.
Well, let's get on to the meeting before we keep going on for too long.
I think you're right. And
Okay.
I'm going to hand it over to you, Bob.
Right,
Take it
thank
away.
you. Well, thank you and welcome. It really is a wonderful event tonight. And, you know, half the fun of something is telling, half the fun of doing something is telling somebody about it. You know, wouldn't you agree? You know, Ken, if you go to a good restaurant or a movie, aren't you going to go say to your friend or something and say, hey, I saw this great restaurant or movie? Is that right? And Jen, you know, if you do something special, you're going down the Cape this weekend, aren't you going to come back and say, gee, I had a great time? Absolutely. Well, isn't that what we're doing here tonight? Is we have a great event planned, and we're enjoying ourselves, and we're telling the whole community about it, aren't we? Because what we do really good is we do video. So we're live tonight from Channel 3, and we really do have a lot to be thankful for. And the intention of tonight's meeting is really to celebrate our efforts as an organization and do a little business too. But one of the things we do really good is we produce great video programming. And before we go too much farther into the meeting, I wanted to take a step back, look at a video production that we've prepared. So Paul, why don't you roll that video production? We're going to take a step back right now.
The basic purpose of a board of directors is the overseers. They are the people who look out for the business part of the station. We write and make policies, and we're the overseers. We make sure everybody's doing their job with those people who are hired, who are full-time staff, and of course we decide who's going to be full-time staff and who's not. So it's more of an overseeing.
I've managed to stay on the board of directors, for good or for bad, and hopefully been able to have been a contributing member of the board of directors. I was elected 2 years ago as the secretary of the board of directors, a position which I still hold to this day, which is which is exciting, which is it entertains me, it keeps me on my toes. It allows me a different perspective, of course, than most members get as to what really happens, the politics of what happens in a place like this.
It's kind of hard for me to define what the future is because it's really up to the people that come here and want to use it. And I think, you know, our job as board members is to make sure that people understand this is here and that we want them to come here and we want their children to come here and their children's children to come here. It should be a generational thing, and people's experiences should be wonderful here. And I mean, I just think having the exposure to television, you know, I mean, I would never really have an exposure to television if I wasn't sitting on the board, and I think that's a great opportunity for everyone to be here. So it's pretty exciting. It's I think things are going very well, and we have the community to thank for that. We have the producers for being committed. We have a wonderful staff who's just done an outstanding job and responding to the needs of the membership, and a very committed board of directors. So I think we're all growing together. So we're growing together instead of growing apart. So I think that's a great way to look at it.
Excellent.
I don't know if I'm supposed to speak right now or... we're back, all right. That was wonderful. What I'd like to do right now is I'd really like to acknowledge our sponsors for a moment. I'd like to do that several times this evening because if it wasn't for dedicated businessmen and women in the community, we wouldn't be able to put on this free event for you. So I just want to mention a couple of people. Brothers Deli, CRM Roofing. Did I get that right, Michelle, this time? I did. Good. All right. Eastern Bank Charitable Foundation. Thank you, Sumner Jones. In a Pig's Eye. Thank you, Jennifer. Hawthorne Hotel. Thank you, Claire in Beverages. Kiki's Chinese Food. Leslie's Retreat. The Lyceum Restaurant. George Harrington. Thank you very much. New England Power. Salem Beer Works. Salem House of Pizza. Salem Now. Leo Joden. Shaw's, Super Sub, Rio Grande Cafe, Ward 2 Social Club, thank you, Charlie Walsh, Ziggy's, the 99 Restaurant, and again, Michelle Johnson, thank you, from 285 Live. What I want to do right now is just take you through the meeting procedure because I really think it's important for all of you to understand exactly what we're going to do tonight so you can fully participate in the process. In a moment, I'll be inviting up Laura DeToma, Salem Access Television's board president, to officially open the meeting and introduce the current SATV board of directors. The financial picture is a very critical part of every organization. Salem Access Television is a nonprofit organization, and it's the budget that keeps the doors open. Mr. Sumner Jones, the board's treasurer and past president, will be invited up to comment on how our budget looks according to the external audit conducted by our accounting firm, Ryan and Kasha. The next part of the meeting will entail the president's report, which Laura DeToma will give. I will give you the executive director's report, and part of that report I'll be talking about what's new. And I'm excited to invite up at that time Jennifer Mason, who will officially launch SATV's brand new website. We'll get a sneak preview tonight. An important part of the annual meeting involves the election of new members to SATV's board of directors. This year, 5 members of SATV will be running, of the SATV membership will be running from the board in the 3 open slots that are available. Each of you who are a voting member, who have a little blue dot on your name tag, should have received a ballot when you came into the facility. At the appropriate time, the secretary, who is Ken Weaver, will ask you to mark those ballots accordingly. Results of the election will be announced at the end of this evening's presentations. And after the election, Mr. Ron Cox, who's our, of course, training production coordinator, will be asked us to talk about this wonderful set that's been constructed, and he'll go through a little bit about what it took to get this enormous set built. Our featured speaker for this evening is H. Mark Smith, Program Coordinator for the Youth Reach Initiative for the Mass Cultural Council. I'll be very pleased to have Mark with us this evening, and he will be our featured speaker. We'll finish up tonight's program with what I feel is my favorite part of the evening, which is the awards presentation. You know, SATV really relishes in the opportunity to give acknowledgement and praise to our wonderful members and directors. And really, this is the part of the program which I don't think we do enough every year, because I don't really think we acknowledge ourselves and each other for the efforts that we make. So the awards presentation will be at the end of the program, and of course the election results will be announced. Right now, I would like to introduce to you one of the most dedicated people I've ever had the opportunity and the pleasure to work with. She's been a founding member of the Board of Directors since 1992. She is now the Board President, Ms. Laura DeToma.
Hello, I'd like to welcome everybody here. And my name is Laura DeToma, and I always correct Bob. I'm not the president of the board, I'm the chairman of the board. So thank you very much. Thank you for coming, and thank you for tuning in. Doesn't the set look fabulous? Ron has just done an absolutely terrific job here tonight. We have an exciting evening planned for you this evening, not only the speakers that you're going to be hearing, but we also have a very active interest in the 3 membership slots that are opening for the Board of Directors, and you're going to get to meet those individuals, and they'll get to speak to you and express to you their interest in why they're running for the board. But what I'd like to do now is to introduce the current members of the Board of Directors. There are 2 members that aren't here with us, Jack Nutting, who is also a founding member, and Perla Peguero. She's not here with us this evening. I'd like to introduce Ken Weaver. Ken, can you come up and stand here? So I'm not up here by myself. Ken serves as our board secretary. Sumner Jones, who is our treasurer and also a founding member. Linda Vaughn is a member of the Board of Directors. Charlie Walsh. And John Martin. Is John? Come on up here. That's okay. These are your Board of Directors, but I'd also like to recognize the staff, because without the staff, we wouldn't be able to do what we do. They do the day-to-day basis, and they give us the problems, and we're like, we'll try to fix them, and then we give answers, and they try to make them work. So I'd like to introduce Jennifer, if she could come up. You can come up here. And Ron, could you come out? Hat, costume, oh, there it is. And Kathy's up front, but I'm hoping she's watching. so if she can come down, that would be great. And Bob Mio is here. So we are waiting for Kathy. Not that there's not a lot of pressure on her right now to kind of make an entrance.
She's watching the front door for new late arrivals.
Really? Okay. Well, this is your staff and your Board of Directors, and we'll be seeing 3 new faces here this evening. So welcome, and nope.
You coming?
False alarm? Okay. And just hope you enjoy the rest of the evening. Thanks very much. I'd also, at this time, while the board is breaking up the set over there, introduce Sumner Jones, who, again, is our treasurer and will give the financial report.
Thank you, Laura. I think we're going to put the financial report on the screen for everyone at home, if we can do that. I think it's important to have the numbers in front of everyone. That is going to, oh, there we go. As Bob mentioned, maintaining a sound financial condition for SATV is very important, and I'm very pleased to report that we have been able to do that. You can see that our income was up considerably over 1997. A couple of reasons for that. First of all, our Funding from Warner Cable went up in accordance with a contract that the city has with Warner Cable. But more impressively was the increase in other income, which is primarily grant money that the staff of SATV was able to secure. It's not easy to get grant money. It takes a lot of work to write the grants and come up with the ideas so that the funding agencies will support the grants, and they deserve a lot of credit for that number. Looking at the expense items, which are coming shortly, I hope. We did have expenses, I'll guarantee you that. There we go. Our expenses were also up over last year, and again, some of that related to the grant, because when you get grant money, the people who fund you expect you to spend that money to accomplish the purpose for which the grant was written. But even so, the key line there is the profit and loss for the year. You can see we essentially broke even in 1997 and 1998. We had a nice surplus of over $13,000. That's not really a profit. We are a non-profit organization, and what happens to that money is it gets rolled over into our capital budget, which is the next item we'll see. The capital budget is used to replenish the equipment and to keep things up to date in the studio. You can see that increased nicely between 1997 and 1998, jumping by over $11,000. All in all, it puts us in a sound financial condition so that we can maintain the facilities and the programs that we've all enjoyed. Thank you very much.
I would now like to have, and again, bring Laura DeToma up to do her president's report.
Chairman. The chairman. No, chairman's okay. I'm a real believer in keeping these types of presentations very short because we have a lot of interesting and exciting things. Basically, I'd like to start out by thanking all of you, all of the members that are here, and our producers and our staff. I was getting ready to come down here, and I was watching the channel, and I saw Leo Joden's program on. And so it's nice to see I can match the programs with the producers and see the evolution of the production that's coming out of here. I was a founding board member, and 6 years later, we really are asking ourselves, not what are we, because we are SATV and we understand that, but who are we? And we are the producers, we are the members, we are the board of directors, and we're the Salem community at large. But we're also 3 national award winners. Michelle Johnson, who's running for the board this evening, was our first recipient, which is congratulations to you. Woody Farrick is a national award winner too. And Kevin Walker, who isn't with us this evening, but our producers are submitting absolutely fantastic programming. And from our perspective, we're just thrilled to death that you're using the facility to its full capacity and bringing recognition not only to your programs but to SATV. So I really do want to thank you for that. When you walk in the door, it's not always looking like this, and we have a wonderful artist gallery, and Mary Stanley is responsible for organizing that. And where is she? I know she's here. Is she over there? And the reason that I feel that that's so important is she behind there? Hi, Mary. I gotcha. And the reason that I believe that the Artist Gallery is so important, because I'm not a producer myself, it's a constant reminder to me about the creative element that exists here, whether it be through the medium of television or through paintings or photography. As soon as you walk in the door, you know that there's a creative element here. We're the video users group, so we include young people as part of our community. We're also very involved with the Youth in Action group, which we have a wonderful representation of that. So that's who we are, and we're going to continue to go forward. One of the interesting things that we're going to face, as I'm sure that you're all aware of, is that Media One will now be taking over the Time Warner contract. Our contract and our fiduciary funds that are committed to us till the year 2002, but in 6 to 9 months, Media One will be taking that over, and there will be a public hearing. So what we'd like to do is encourage all of you to actively participate in that, because your voice is going to be very important. We need to be able to speak to the city. They negotiate the contract to say what we do here is important, and we feel that it's a vested part of the community. So I'd like to just thank you all for coming. Thank you for your continued support. Thank you for what you're going to do in the future, and enjoy the rest of the evening.
Thank you, Laura. Well, it's my pleasure to give to you the Executive Director's Report. I really enjoy, this is really the only time I truly get to speak to you during the year. I really have one shot, and this is it. So what I'd like to briefly do is outline some of SATV's accomplishments for this past year. I'd like to point out some of the challenges that we've had and what we're going to do and what we've done to overcome those challenges. And finally, I want to talk to you about some of the goals that we have and how we would like you to help us make this a better organization next year. First of all, we're in the people business. We might produce video, but basically, bottom line, we're the people. And you can see all the faces who behind the programs here tonight. And one thing I'm very excited about is that we are at a 2.5-year high in terms of membership. Not since September of 1996 have we had 248 members, and that's really significant. Out of those 248 members, 235 of them did something. They produced a program. They attended an event, an art opening. They volunteered here at the facility. And that's just wonderful, because I don't know of any other organization that can say that we have almost the entire group doing something on a yearly basis. So I think you should give yourself a round of applause. What's our challenge? Our challenge is to keep on recruiting new members. We want to keep the funnel full here. And our challenge is to continue to motivate you, to train you so you can do better programming, so we can get more award winners, because there's always room for more. One of the ways that we want to fill the funnel is through a program that we call the Members Getting Members program, or MGM, because, we do television, but you know what the best form of advertising is? It's word of mouth. It's each of you going home, telling your friend, telling your neighbor, gee, I have a great time at SATV. I think Michelle Johnson does this better than anybody, And Leo, well, they compete. But, just telling people that you enjoy this organization, because, they might drop us a line and say, hey, how can we get involved here? What can we do to come down? And I tell you, more and more people are coming down every single week saying, I never knew you were here. So I really appreciate the help that we get from our members to make this happen. Let's talk about production for a moment. 375 hours of originally produced production programming in 1998. Now, I think we can do better than that, because in 1997, we had 425 hours. Now, my goal is to be in front of you next year at this time with 500 hours of produced programming, originally produced programming. That's what we're going to do. And how are we going to do that? We've changed some things. We're going to do more one-on-ones with people, because that's what makes a difference. The staff is dedicated to sit down with you personally and talk to you about your program and how we can help you make it happen, how we can connect you with the resources and give you the time that's necessary to build television programming, because it's not an easy thing. We understand that. Second thing we're going to do is we have better training classes planned for you. I think Ron Cox is a master trainer. Since he's come to this organization, we've gone from 25 training classes to 75 a year. Unbelievable job, and we're going to keep improving that. So great job, Ron. And we understand that nobody does production in a vacuum. You need to connect with people, just like in this meeting. You're able to connect with each other. So one thing we're doing is enhance networking opportunities, because it's really important for you to meet each other and, hey, talk about what's behind the program and understand that you're not alone in the challenges that you face here. Because, again, doing television is not an easy thing. It's a high-maintenance activity. So we think it's very important that you be given the opportunity to meet and talk. So we're revamping our producer socials. And we've changed those to membership socials. And we're doing more events and more opportunities for people to meet. So read your Access newsletter. What was the newsletter called? The Line Out. I'll always be Access this to me, but Line Out and find out about those new opportunities. Programming. Let's shift gears here and talk about programming for a moment. We're 7 days a week. We program our channels now 7 days a week. And we have Jennifer Mason to thank for that. Jennifer, great job. So what does 7 days a week mean? We have 1,000 more hours of programming on the channels every single year now. We were 3,000, I think 2,000 last year. We're now about 3,000. So that means that your shows are on now, can be on Saturday and Sunday, and we got feedback from you saying that, gee, we wanted our programs to be on during the weekends, and we've taken that feedback and we've expanded our schedule. One, we've also changed our bulletin board. I'm sure you've noticed that. Programming is now exclusively on Channel 3. What does that mean to you? One, when you tune to Channel 3, you're either going to see, one, a show, or you're going to see when that show is going to be on. Because we understood that people got tired of circulating through all the messages to find out when programming is on. So we've taken all those community messages, about 130 of them, and we've put them on Channel 16. So we've created a better look for the organization and a more accessible look for the organization. Production classes, let's touch on that for a moment, because we really think this is a critical piece which really makes us important. Because, see, these classes represent a system. When somebody comes to us new, we plug them into the system. And we have a system of classes that can take them from basic to advanced production. Because my feeling is it's really important to constantly feed your mind. And one of the goals that I have, okay, is to get some of you folks here who've already been through the production classes to retake them again. Because we are in a high maintenance kind of activity, and it's important. It's really important to take those classes again and really get up on some of the older techniques that you may need brushing up on, and learn about some of the new techniques as well. One of the things that I like to think about, which is significant, is we had 311 members take classes in 1998. And that means my goal of getting people to start taking those classes over are starting to happen. And one of the big changes we made is that we changed the format. We made it easier for people to take classes. Usually in the past, back in 94, 95, the classes were either 4 weeks or they were 7 weeks. And now we have one-day classes, so you can pop in after work and actually take a class, learn something new, and really re-energize yourself and start producing. I want to talk just briefly about special projects, because we've had some great special projects. One of the things that I loved about the board when I was first hired in '93 is that they were dedicated to youth programming. They said, we want to make a difference in this community with young people. And the first thing we started was something called the Video Users Group. That program is still going strong 5 years later. And you know the difference this year? The difference this year is that we've been able to combine curriculum with an after-school activity. So those kids who are doing the Video Users Group are getting some kind of credit for what they're doing. Jóvenes en Acción, probably one of the first Spanish words I've ever been able to say together. Youth in Action, incredible project with Salem Harbor CDC. I know Jim Haskell's here tonight. Just a wonderful partnership with that organization where SATV and Salem Harbor CDC, actually Jim and I we went to a Mass Cultural Council event at the Emerson College Majestic Theater. We sat there and listened to the presentation. Mark Smith wasn't with the council at that time, but we turned to each other and said, we can really do better in terms of Spanish-oriented programming for this community. And you know, 3 years later, it's a reality. We have a multi-arts program that combines video, dance, public art. You go walk, after you leave here tonight or tomorrow sometime, go down Congress Street and you'll see a beautiful mural on Congress Street. We put it there. Unbelievable. And thank you, Jim. Just a wonderful job working with your organization. I just want to touch on another youth-oriented activity that we do, which I think is very significant as well. It's called the SATV Video Club. It'll be in its second year this summer. The reason why this is significant was we're offering low-cost access to a 5-day-a-week, 5-hour summer activity where families can put their kids into an activity 5 days a week for 5 hours at a very, very low cost. And that's significant because so many families out there, they don't have the money, and they have many kids, and they don't have the opportunity to put their kids in multiple camps. So we're offering that here today. And we're actually doing it in Spanish as well because we have Silfita Gomez coming back. Everybody knows Silfita here. And she's going to be doing that class. And I think that is significant because it really is going to take our youth-oriented program to the next step. Lastly, I want to mention a survey. When you received your program tonight, the membership committee batted around a survey about a year ago. We put that survey in our newsletter. Okay, we didn't receive the results we wanted to get. We reintroduced it tonight because your feedback is very critical to us. We listen to you. We're here for you. I just urge you to take a few moments, either tonight or sometime this week, to fill that survey out and get it to us because we really hang our hat on that kind of feedback because we can turn that back to you and really change some things that need to be changed and acknowledge ourselves for some things that we're doing right because without your voice, we really don't know how we're doing. Finally, it's just really been my pleasure to be your executive director over the past 5 years. I can't believe it's 5 years. And I really look forward to spending many, many more years with you because, you know, I really think that this organization is making a difference. It's making a difference in the lives of the people who are watching the shows, and I've seen it make a difference in the people who are producing the shows. So thank you, and let's have a great rest of the evening tonight. Right now, I'd like to introduce and bring up Jennifer Mason. She's going to be conducting and talking to us about what's new with SATV, particularly our new website. You know, I can't acknowledge Jennifer enough because she really provides such an incredible, she just helps the staff out such incredibly. I rely on her a lot. I appreciate her help and her guidance, and I just love working with you. We have a good time. So come on up.
Thanks. On your monitors, you can check it out as I'm just kind of running through it. You can check out the new version, or the original version, of www.satvonline.org, which is SATV's presence on the web. We're really excited about this. Since I first started here, I've been promising, I think in my first interview, that we were going to get a website and get it up. And it's been a long time in coming, but it's there. You can check it out now. You can check it out when you get home tonight. This is the first version of what I hope will be an ever-changing website. I have a lot of ideas to put into it. I know a lot of you have ideas of what we can put into it, but this is just the basics to get us up there and get us started. What is mostly on the site is you can go in and find information about the facility, how we started, and membership, and how easy it is to come down and sign up to be a member of SATV. You can also see biographies, and soon we'll have photos of the staff as well as the board of the The next thing you'll find is we've taken the line out, which is our bi-monthly newsletter, and we've put that online as well. That rather than putting the whole newsletter on there, there'll be 2 featured articles for each newsletter, and so those will be changing as soon as the next line out comes out. What else do we have on there? The next thing you'll see on there that I update personally every week, so I don't want to hear about old information on the website, is program schedules for channel 3 and 15. You can check that every probably Sunday night, and you'll see the upcoming week's program schedule for both channels, so you'll always know what's on. It's just another resource. I know we have it in the newspaper some days. It's also on the channel, but if you're at your computer and you have access to it, that's going to tell you when your favorite shows are on. The next thing we have is a list of upcoming events. Featured now is the annual meeting, of course, and then as different events, membership socials happen, that sort of thing, those will all be added to it, as well as directions to how to get to SATV. What else do we have? I think that's pretty much it. Oh, the last page of the website is our workshop list. That'll be updated probably about 3 or 4 times a year. When we do the new list of workshops, that gives you the dates and times when everything is going to be offered, so you can check your own schedule at your leisure and then give Kathy a call to sign up for one of the classes. That's pretty much the website as it stands now. In the future, what I can plan to offer you is that we're going to have links to other websites, such as the Mass Cultural Council. Right now we have their logo on our page for sponsoring us, but soon you'll be able to go over to their website. And the next thing I'd like to do is to be able to encourage members with their own shows to actually produce a website so that we can link them. So if Leo puts together a website for Salem Now, somebody can go to our page, read about Salem Now, and then go off to his page and find out more information. And I'm going to encourage as many producers to do that as possible. The last and the newest exciting thing that's going to be coming to the website, hopefully relatively soon, is that we will have streaming audio and video on our website, which means that we're taking television to that whole next level, because you'll be able to actually watch your SATV shows on the computer, which is something that should be there soon. It's our next big project, and I can't wait to get it all out there. The last thing I want to say is that this is your website. I'm happy to maintain it for you, but it's everyone's website, and I'd encourage you, if you have any ideas, feedback, you want to work on it, let me know, and we can try to work those into the website. So go home and check it out. You should all have a little card in your cups that say the website, so stick it in your pocket and let me know what you think.
Well, one thing Jen does very well is she really manages programming here. And I know you get really excited with when the new shows happen.
Yeah, which needs to happen more frequently. But we have a lot of new shows coming out of the studio recently, a lot of people with ideas for shows, and we like to really encourage other people that might just have a small idea to bring it to the surface, because it may not just be all your responsibility. There might be a lot of other people that want to work on it with you.
And right now, we have a video queued up for you. And this is the new shows, and we're going to take a sneak preview right now.
Hi, and welcome to another edition of Salem Now. Welcome to another edition of Salem Now. Salem Now. Salem Now. I'm your host, Leo Joden. When I do the show, I have to do a lot of research, and can't do it without the crew of Salem Now, a fantastic production crew. They all work very hard to bring this to the people at home in Salem. I just saw people weren't getting enough information in Salem. I'm working on it. Salem Now is going to be there looking, and like I say, we're Salem's 2020.
Hot on the Web began watching a football game over a year ago in January, sitting back with a couple of friends and my fiancée Jennifer, and we thought about, wouldn't it be great if we could take what we're doing every day, the business day, and bring it to a level that everyone can understand.
But it was exciting to get back in here to say, okay, this one day a month, I'm going to actually do some production work. I'm going to do the lighting. I'm going to do the sets. And that's something that we really don't get a lot to do here because our main role is to assist the producers.
One of the biggest influences we have on our show now is our fans and our viewer base. We get direct emails back from them at our email address. The feedback is essential, and it helps guide the evolution of the show. So to encapsulate, the best way to say what the future of Caught on the Web is going to be is what our audience wants.
Great. Well, thank you very much. That was a wonderful presentation. I do want to acknowledge Paul Bisson for putting together some of the roll-ins that you see tonight. Unbelievable. We have a few more tonight, but right now we're going to start what is the most important part of this business meeting, which is the election process, and I would like to invite up the board's secretary, Ken Weaver, to start that process out. Ken, why don't you come on up?
Hello everyone and welcome. This voting process is very simple. All eligible voting members have a blue dot on their name tag. If you have a family or a business or a group membership, one representative from those groups will be eligible to vote. Okay, very simple. Right now we currently have 5 nominees on the ballot who I will introduce. And after I introduce them, I will call them up to speak. Each person will give a short time to give a synopsis as to why they would like to be a board member. The introduction goes as follows. Charles Walsh. No, not just yet. I'll introduce everyone first, Charlie. John Martin. Farnell Longus. Michelle Johnson. And our very own David Moyenson. So what I'll do is I'll ask Charles Walsh to come up, please, Charlie, and well, I was going to do, okay. At this time, at this time I will take any nominations from the floor if there are any. I know there is one because I'm making it. Okay, so there aren't anyone from here. Kevin Walker, I'd like to nominate from the floor. And Kevin is available here to speak. But again, I will start with Charlie Walsh. Actually, what I need is a motion to close the nomination.
Second the motion from the floor. Here.
I love having this help. I would like a second from the floor to accept
Second
the
for the
nomination.
floor to nominate Kevin Walker. Do I have a second?
Oh, I see.
Thanks, John. I like
Paul?
Paul. You like to be nominated or second?
No, he's
Okay.
second. But we have 2 seconds.
Now we'd like
That's
to
good.
take a motion to
Close the ballot.
close the nominations. Second. Thank
John
you very
Wall.
much.
Okay.
You're on.
I'm back on again.
You're on.
Thank you. It's nice to have a support group when you're doing live television. Okay, so I will invite the key candidates up. Charlie, would you like to come up, please? Yeah, we can do it now. Just want to get you up here, Charlie. I've been trying my best. Okay, Dave, hang on for a second.
Well, I'm probably at a loss for words, which is rather unusual. But I must say, I'm a retired school principal, and somehow or other I got involved with SATV, and it's been one of the most joyous occasions in my life. I'm constantly busy. Let me tell you, if you go on the board, you do not sit there and do nothing. Because the phone rings, they call you up, they get you out of bed, they get you, go get this, go get that, please get this, get the food, get the lights, get the bread, get the... But I love it because it keeps me busy, keeps me out of trouble. My wife is happy because I'm not around bothering her and so forth. So, but the big thing is the young people that are involved. I love the idea that the high school students are involved, the middle school is involved, the elementary children. And the cross-section of people that we have is absolutely amazing. People that can't even speak English, but boy, they're terrific when they can run a camera, they can run an audio film, whatever it might be. It's a very joyous place to be. I don't think we ever see anybody sad down here because they're too busy trying to produce or trying to direct or trying to be a part of the family. And we are a family. So if you're going to become part of us, you got to be willing to share the good things and the bad things. Picking up the table, emptying the rubbish, whatever it may be, you got to make the effort. So I'm ready to do it again. If you want me, fine. If not, I'll settle off into the wilderness.
Thank you, Charlie.
Let's see it.
Thank you very much.
One other thing I have to say. All of the people who contributed tonight, especially the food, you people were fantastic out there. I hope you people really go and partake of these businesses because these people really put themselves out to make this a very successful night, and I really thank them all. Thank you.
Thank you, Charlie, for mentioning the donors of all the food tonight. That was a great gift. Second person on the agenda is John Martin. John?
Hello. Again, my name is John Everett Martin. I first want to apologize for my appearance. I would have put on a tie today, but I did not want to miss this, and I was coming straight from work, so that's first and foremost. I've been a member of the board for probably about a year now, and I have enjoyed it. I've been a member of SATV since the beginning of it. My wife and I have produced a show. We do a show, have done it in the past and hope to resume it again, called Kids at Art, where we work towards programming for children, and that's something that we have produced. And also, along with Mary Stanley, I host a program called Artist Profile, forgive me. Like Charlie, I'm not normally at a loss for words, but for some reason tonight I am humbled by standing up here in front of all of you. I've enjoyed being a member of the board. I consider it to be an honor to be a member of the board. I know the other people who are running for the board, and I know that they are equally as qualified as myself, and I wish them luck. But I will remain committed to this organization as I have in the past. I hope to be more involved, and I would appreciate your vote. I hope you all continue to have a good time, and thank you so much for coming.
Thank you very much, John. I was just informed that Fernell Longdus is not here, and in which case he is not eligible right now to be voted on. So I will move on to the next candidate, which is Michelle Johnson. Michelle, would you like to come up, please, and say a few words? A few words to your loving fans, of which I know you have many.
Well, I just want to thank everybody that asked me to run. I feel, being an active member of SATV from the start, like John Martin, that I understand where the producers are coming from. I understand where the staff is coming from, and I know where the community is coming from. I want to thank each and every one of you, and if you vote for me, thank you, and I'll do the best I can for all of us.
Thank you very much, Michelle. And last but not least, our very own David Moyensen. David, a few words, please.
Hello. I've been a long-time member since the facility was opened in 1994. Many of you have seen me. Many of you have seen me teaching. Many of you have seen me volunteering. Many of you have seen me producing television. As a board member, I resolved to continue all those things. I resolved to help all of you produce programs, volunteer, and move forward into the 21st century. Thank you.
Very good, David. Very good. Every producer here knows how valuable David Moyensen has been to us. I would like to just have a minute just to give David another round of applause, because I'll tell you, if it wasn't for David Moyensen, right, Paul? And Kevin Walker. Kevin, would you please come up and have a few words?
carry me with applause till I get here. All right, I'm on the other side of John. I want to apologize for wearing this tie. I had no idea I was going to stand here and do this. I really hadn't considered applying myself for the board until 5 minutes ago. I just am aware of it's good for people to do shows that they're comfortable with doing, issues that they're comfortable with doing. But what I would like to promote as much as I can is to create the dialogue where one show comes on and gets these people so ticked off that they have to come out and say what they think. Complacency is running rampant as I see it this way, my humble but earnest opinion. It seems, if I may go, I'm afraid that we live in a time where we gather as the populace to elect an official who then acts like a dictator. And somehow laws and things get enacted that I go, did we vote for this, or does this just get thrust on us? And it's these kind of ideas I would like to have brought out on SATV. I've been a fan, an active member, and a proponent for years. And if I had one major criticism, is I feel that sometimes people are sheepish in their views, and they really think and feel something, but, ooh, I don't want to offend anybody. But there is a difference between offending somebody and inspiring somebody. If you don't know the difference, that would make a great show. And if you do know the difference, well, come on, come up and make things happen in one way or another. And I also, having been the recipient of an award that was we based the show on how nobody produces a show by themselves. And we set out to make a show to showcase that. And what we ended up with was an award-winning show that was so because of everybody that participated and what they put into it. And it wouldn't have been, of course, without them. So I thank you for listening to me and hope to see you again anytime soon.
Thank you, Kevin Walker. That was a very inspirational speech. I was inspired. All right. It is at this time now where we will be voting, so I invite all eligible members to choose up to 3 names and write on your ballot, and I will shortly be around to collect them along with my lady over here, yeah, Kathy DeLaura. Okay, shall I review the names? All right, I will. At the top here is Charles Walsh, John Martin, Michelle Johnson, Kevin Walker, and David Moyenson. With that, I'll turn the proceedings back over to Robert. Okay, thank you.
All right, well, how about a round of applause for Ken Weaver? What a great job, yeah. You know, it's been interesting working here for the last, about a week, because each time I'd come in, a new part of the street would be built. And, you know, Ron came to me and talked to me about the set, and, you know, I said, oh, that's cool, we're gonna build Bourbon Street. I said, okay, that's cool. The thing that frightened me as the week went on is that he built Bourbon Street. Unbelievable job, unbelievable creative talent that we have in Ron Cox. And Ron, if you stop waving at the control room and come on up here, I want you to talk to everybody about how you actually created this unbelievable set. Ron Cox, everybody.
Thank you, Bob. Well, first of all, this set would not have happened if it wasn't for a collaboration of a lot of people. And believe me, you know, obviously I'm an artist and I dream these things up in my head, but that's where it would remain without these other people. And I personally want to thank Leo Joden, a master carpenter extraordinaire. Please give us a round of applause. In fact, after constructing this thing, I don't know, Bob knows this, our landlord has just raised the rent. But again, not only Leo, but then of course, what Leo did was he constructed the skeleton. Essentially, underneath all this cardboard is this wooden skeleton, and it's incredible. And do we have a roll-in to go to? I don't know if we do. Yeah? No? I guess not. Anyway, let me talk about it, because what has happened is once the skeleton was built, then it's just a matter of putting up the cardboard to go on that. We do have a roll-in. I thought so. We took some footage of the actual presentation of how we put this all together. There's Leo working on the skeleton, all made from wood. And a lot of this wood was left over from last year. Last year we built a boat. This year we wanted to top it and build a city they call New Orleans, or New Orleans. New Orleans. New Orleans. But again, what's so great about this is once Leo gets an idea, he goes right to it. And over the course of, I think, about 2 weeks, from idea to construction, he built it. Then, of course, the painting happens, where everybody contributes to putting up the cardboard. Let me also thank Charlie Walsh, who came up with all of these columns. Let's hear it for Charlie. Fantastic job. Because you can't have a city of New Orleans without columns. These are the kids, and that's another great thing. We had kids from the high school coming down. We had, what you're seeing now is I try to convince the board to send me to New Orleans for research. And what they ended up doing was sending me to Jordan's Furniture, which was okay. It was a lot of fun. Again, it was a painstaking process where everybody contributed, volunteered their time, their energy to make this thing work. So what you see here before you is a direct result of people donating their time, especially Leo. There he is, carrying in the lumber. He does things with a saw you just don't believe. Let's hear it for all the wonderful people that contributed to this great, great thing. Now, as you can see, we took photos and we got cardboard, and now I guess the sad part is we have to take it down. Unless somebody's got a show coming up that they need this set. All right, that would be nice. But again, everybody wants to buy a set. Here it is. Okay, I think that's it. I want to thank everybody, and that's on with the show.
Right now, just would like to thank the committee that really has made this event happen. We started meeting in early January, and it was really the committee that pulled this thing all together. I think the greatest thanks really goes out to Charlie Walsh, because he really pushed us. Yeah. He really pushed us and really picked us up when we needed it. There's a lot of other people, too, I'd like to thank. David Moyson, wonderful, unbelievable talent. Yeah, David. Really helped out with everything, was there from the last minute. I was making changes with him in the control room up until like 5 minutes before this event happened. Janice Manning running around today. Where's Janice? Just great. Just Leo Joden. I can't say enough about Leo. Where's Leo? Is Leo here someplace? Leo. Unbelievable. I mean, he spent all weekend here helping construct this set. You know, and just anything we want, we just ask him, and he does it. Just a wonderful example of what a volunteer truly should be. Russell Wiedemann over here on floor directing. Great job. Diane DeFazio, where's Diane? She's on graphics, just always there for us, anything we want. Just another one of those people that we just kind of grab and say, Diane, we need you to do this, and she's right there. There's a young man who's really special. He has really been an incredible person to watch over the last couple of years, and he is just the brightest young man. that you would like to know. He's a high school student. We sort of don't believe that because he's so incredibly bright and dedicated. But Sean McKinnon, who's in the control room, great job, Sean. Another person who this production wouldn't have happened without him. He drives me nuts sometimes. He's wearing a very funny hat this evening. It's Mr. Paul Bisson, who's right. You knew I was going to do something. Yeah, he's waving. Michelle Johnson, just looked great tonight, Michelle. Again, one of these people who we rely on. She calls us up and she says, "What can I do for you? And how can I make your life easier?" And that's really just, again, such an example of a volunteer. Yeah. Linda Dorfman, thank you. And I'd just like to thank anybody else who I missed this evening. I appreciate it. And also, last but not least, certainly is the staff and the interns. Dan, our intern, wherever Dan is. And Amanda, Ron Cox, Jennifer Mason, Kathy DeLaura, thank you. So please give everybody a round of applause. Okay. Okay. Well, I missed the flowers part. I knew I'd miss something. If I missed that, it should be that. Our guest speaker this evening is H. Mark Smith, who's the program coordinator for the Mass Cultural Council's Youth Reach initiative. Youth Reach is a statewide effort to bring out-of-school arts programs to young people in need. Under Mark's leadership, Youth Reach has gone from 15 projects funded in 1996 to 39 projects in 1998. Youth Reach has also received a very prestigious award, the Innovation Award by the National Assembly of State Arts Agencies in November of 1998. Mark holds an MA degree in directing from Emerson College in Boston, Massachusetts. He was the former executive director of the Loon and Heron Theater for Young People based in Brookline, Massachusetts. Mark also serves on the steering committee of the Massachusetts Violence Prevention Task Force and the New England Foundation for the Arts. Please help me in giving a very warm welcome to Mark Smith. Mark.
Thanks, Bob. It's great to be here. Ooh, I get transition music. Bob, I want to thank you for that introduction and thank all of you for allowing me to be a part of this evening. This is my third visit up to your station, and while I have enjoyed each of those visits, I've got to say this one is by far the most fun. What a great celebration and what a great community gathering. I hope that all of you are having a good time, and I hope more importantly that as you look around the room and as you think back on this evening, that you feel very, very proud of the particular part that you play in the life of SATV. I also hope that you leave here feeling rather fortunate to be a part of this little treasure. I really admire the work that you all do at SATV. In particular, I admire the depth of your commitment to providing public access. I also admire the depth of your commitment to really encouraging free speech. Like all public access stations, SATV is dedicated to free speech and expression. But you all understand that to realize that principle, you must go beyond simply providing a forum for free speech and expression. Maintaining an electronic podium for the community to use if they happen to choose is not enough. You here at SATV understand that in order to promote free speech and creative expression, you need to create a welcoming environment. You also need to cultivate a climate of discourse and discovery, and you need to help people develop the skills they need to sharpen and clarify their expression. You all are doing fine and important work, so keep it up. When Bob invited me to speak this evening, he asked me to comment on the role of art and culture in building community. I should warn you that that's a subject that I could go on about for days and days. But I won't. This is a party after all, and besides, as I look around, I am convinced that you all are already believers in the power of art and culture. I believe that you share with me the understanding that art and culture are uniquely positioned to build community. Engaging in cultural activity helps each of us celebrate not only our own experience and vision, but also helps us discover the experience and vision of somebody else. And also through art and culture, you and I, exploring and creating together, can share the power of our collective experience and vision. And after all, isn't that what building community is all about? As I said, you all are well aware of this, so Bob, mine is rather an awkward assignment. I feel as though I'm preaching to the choir, so to speak. But sometimes even the choir needs a little revival, so in that spirit, let me offer just a couple of remarks. As I had mentioned, I really admire the seriousness of your commitment to promoting free speech and expression. Allowing for it, certainly, but also encouraging it, cultivating it, nurturing it. As you move forward together, I encourage you to hold on to those elements that, at least to this one casual observer, are key elements to your success to date. First and foremost, you have created a welcome place, a place where a wide range of people feel that they really do have access to your center. Just a quick scan of the rather impressive list of programs produced here, a list that includes everything from Girls Are Great and Behind the Badge to The Making of Rainbow Snake and Your Mama. A look at that list and it is clear that a diverse range of people feel that your airways are their airways, that your station is their station. Now, don't take that for granted. This does not happen automatically, particularly here in New England. Venturing forth in uncharted territories is not our collective experience. The people that did that are now in Ohio and Wyoming. But you have made it happen here. You have done more than open your doors. You went out onto the sidewalk, you pulled people in, and you invited them to get involved. And this commitment to hospitality is as wide as it is deep. I see on that list of programs shows like Diálogo Espiritual and El PLD y El Nuevo Camino. Now, I may be going a little bit out on the limb here, and I hope not to offend anyone. If I do, I apologize ahead of time for my ignorance. But I would guess that there may be one or two people in the city of Salem who are not quite comfortable with the changing demographics of the town. But you all have embraced it, and as is evidenced by the Spanish language programming. You recognize that building community is a process of inclusion, bringing people together. Not me saying, come help me build my house, but you and I working together to build our shared environment. For this, I personally applaud you. Second, when you do get people in, you all are committed to helping them not only learn their way around, not just to learn the basics of the facility. You go further. A quick range of the training options that you offer suggests that. You are committed to bringing people to develop as producers, to sharpen their skills, to become not merely vocal, but more importantly, articulate in what they have to say. Now, every station has to offer what Chuck Sherwood down at Cape Cod Community Television refers to as the How Not to Break My Equipment course. And you offer that. But many access stations stop there. And very few, if any, offer college credit courses in media. So why is all this important? It tells me that you as individuals, that here at SATV, individuals are encouraged to learn ways to use the tools that you offer them, use them more effectively, to become more articulate in their efforts to communicate. That is a real commitment to empowerment. But SATV is not just about making television. You have nurtured some very exciting programs that use media production as one element in a broad-based effort to build community around specific opportunities to face specific challenges. Jóvenes en Acción is but one example. Flashpoint is another fine example. I have to tell you that I know of access stations in this state who are very, very cautious about having young people in their studios producing. It makes them nervous. They're afraid of their equipment being broken. You all recognize the power of that vision and the energy that brings to the collective vision that you're building here. Finally, I must add a personal note about the range of arts programs that you offer. I firmly believe that sharing in the process of creation, sharing in the process of art making, is an essential part of a whole healthy human being. It's part of what makes me tick, I know. I also believe that in our contemporary collective life, the experience of making art has been really sort of disenfranchised in what we now call their American society. I also believe that our society collectively suffers as a result of that. So I get very excited to see things like Peabody Essex Museum Presents, an artist profile, and Nina Vickers and LCC Presents on your list. You all are working to give people access to the process of creating, not just in the media, but in all of the arts. To me, this is the ultimate piece of community building. I congratulate you.
Next little Mark Smith, everybody. Well, we've come to the part of the program, of the awards part of the program, and I'm not going to say too much, but I would like to invite Mr. Ron Cox up right now to conduct. Ron, you need to get up here because he has that blank look on his face, and he's listening to Jen, and I told him not to listen to Jen, to listen to me for once. So get up here and do the awards part of this.
Yeah, come on, Jen. Now I know what she was saying. She's going to help. I think that's great. Well, this is a wonderful time because, like Bob said, and so many people tonight have said that this place is full of people willing to give, not only of themselves, but to contribute and help other people get things done. And that's what's so great about SATV. So at this particular time, I like to give some awards out. And who's first? Okay. All right. Well, I just happened to see him over here. This fellow that's getting this award tonight, not only I first met him when I first got on, took the job about a year and a half ago. He works with the Youth in Action. At one time when I first came involved was called something else. What was it called? Community Vision. And he was fantastic at the way he organized the youth in the Latino neighborhoods in Salem. And this year, he now has added responsibility as a peer leader. And he's been doing great in organizing the kids. He's helping with the mural project. He's helped with the dance project. And when you see Joel, to see him dancing in the studio is something you've got to see. So please join me in welcoming and acknowledging Joel Ortiz. Congratulations, Joel.
Want me to say a couple words? Well, I was feeling kind of sad since last year I was on here presenting. This year I was behind the camera. I just love being in front of people and seeing all the beautiful faces. And she may not be watching, but anyways, hi, Mom.
Congratulations. Yeah, stay over here. Why don't you stay up for a while? Another person we'd like to acknowledge, and everybody tonight has been talking about him. I've been talking about him. Everybody's been talking about him. He's our own handyman. He fixes things. He not only makes sets, he fixes things that break down here at SATV. He's always trying to get new members for SATV. He has his own show. And I think one of the reasons he has these, that's right, 2 shows. One show, during his Salem Now show, he decided to go out and do some things on the side. It ended up being such a good time. He now has a different show called On the Road with Leo Jordan, or with Salem Now. He's a very active producer, not to say the least. And he's always willing to help other crews. help crew other shows. And that's what's so great about Leo. As you can see, he helps out even making this possible. So please, without any further ado, let's acknowledge Leo Joden. All right, let's find out about this hat.
Thank you.
Well, I was just going to say that, number one, I'd like to take my ears off to SATV. Normally, I have a lot to say. As a matter of fact, I can never shut my mouth. But it's a lot of work, but it's a lot of fun. And I've been trying to encourage people out there to join SATV. I've heard family a lot of times mentioned here tonight, and that's the way I look at it. Before, I've said that people have their Six Flags, they have their Disney World. Well, this is my Disney World. Again, and like Joel said, I would like to thank my biggest fan and biggest supporter. I love you, Mom. I couldn't have done it if you didn't raise me the way you did.
All right.
Thanks again, Mom. Thanks.
The other fellow I'd like to acknowledge is somebody who, almost a year ago, I think it was a year ago this month, came walking in the studio and he said, yeah, I got this idea. I'm graduating, I'm having a reunion. I just graduated high school 50 years ago. And I want to do something to talk about this incredible event. And I said, well, what do you want to do? He says, well, I thought of taking a camera and going up Essex Street and kind of taping the changes. And I said, well, gee, you know, Bob, you could do other things than that. Like you could make a documentary. And he goes, well, would that take too long? And I said, well, it depends on how much you want to put into it. Well, it's been a year. He's finishing up the edits. I think he's now, in fact, making the copies for the community of Salem, which is a wonderful thing that he's doing. He also helps people out in crews. He's always there for other producers. He's logged more hours on the edit room than any other producer at Salem Access Television. Ladies and gentlemen, please acknowledge Bob Shea.
Obviously, I got in over my head, but somehow I survived.
Oh! So talk to the guy that constructed it. The other person I'd like to acknowledge is somebody who is an award-winning producer down here at Salem Access TV. He's been always, in terms of his emotion, his feeling of always happy. He's always like helping out. He's always making us laugh. He's a great guy, and he's a hard-working producer down here at Salem Access TV. Let's please acknowledge and join me in acknowledging Bill Farrick.
Thank you so much. This is an incredible honor. About 2 years ago, I got interviewed for a job to be an HIV outreach educator for your lovely town of Salem. And I told my boss, I have an idea for a television show on gay, lesbian, bisexual, and transgender issues. And she goes, you know, that's a really good idea. Why don't we try it at Salem Access Cable? So I have to give a really big thank you to my director, Carol Oliver, for allowing me to do this job, and for Bob and Jen and Kathy and Ron for giving me the support to do this job and to reach isolated people who can't always deal with their sexual issues, but this gave them a chance to learn, and also for the heterosexual population to get an understanding of another group of people. So it's been a huge honor to do this show and to get it acknowledged. And I want to say thank you to my crew, who've been people like Leo and Bob and Judy and our friend Jim Nelson and Paul Bisson, who has been a great director and has helped me a lot. So thank you very much. This means a lot. Thank you.
What? All right. Yeah, go on that side. Yeah. We want to balance out the point of view. Another person who I'd like to acknowledge, and actually is somebody who's another hardworking editor In fact, she's always in the edit room. I think she's also booked as much as time as Bob. In fact, I think she is Bob's editor. She's also willing to help out in crew. And I think our last Christmas party, she did some incredible camera work of the event that we had that evening. And I must say she did a great job. She's also great working with other producers down here. Always willing to help out in doing anything. She's also videotaping tonight various things going on. So please acknowledge and join with me in appreciating Diane DeFazio.
Thank you very much. This has been a blast. I've enjoyed every minute of it. Thank you.
Go in again.
Every minute of it.
No, Dan, over here. We want to balance out the another person I would like to acknowledge, and please join me in doing so, is a person who has been great at filling in at the last minute. In fact, I think even tonight we were concerned we didn't have enough crew to help with the this annual meeting, and it was right there showing up to help us out. Say, where can I go? Camera, audio, you tell me. He also is great at helping out other producers and their projects. In fact, is very good at doing music, and I think he did Leo's song, what do you call it? Theme song.
Theme song for Salem.
Right. So that was fantastic. He also brings a level of commitment that you just don't see that much in other endeavors, and he's fantastic. So please join me in appreciating Michael Kenny, or Mike Kenny.
Thanks. This is great. I wasn't expecting to be up here, so I didn't have anything prepared. But thanks, and hi, Ma. All right. Which way?
Okay. I got my list here. Yeah, I could just make sure. All right. This is someone who also was willing to help out at all times, not only in helping other crews doing their graphics, but also he's joined our staff in helping teaching classes. Not only does he help teach computer graphics, but he's helped put together some incredible manuals that have been fantastic, not only for other producers, but they've helped me out, and I'm one of the trainers down here. He also helped us switch over the computer bulletin board when we went to the different changes and just recently, but he's also there to help type up those messages, volunteering his time to do that. We get over, gosh, 50, 60 messages a week, and they have to get up there on that bulletin board. Dave is always there to help that happen, always updating it. And again, like all the people up here, he's there to help out other crews, other producers to crew their shows. Please join me in welcoming a potential board member, David Moyson.
I'd like to thank all those people, all the producers, and most importantly, all the students that I have had the opportunities to teach in computer graphics and the bulletin board, formally or informally, in the classroom or in the hallways. Thank you.
And last but not least, but we saved him for last because he happens to be in the control room at the moment. This is someone who is only in high school, but you would never know it by the knowledge in his head, his willingness to help out down here. In fact, help get these lights that are helping light tonight. We needed some extra lights. This fellow is one of the people to help get those. This past year, he's accepted some new challenges, and in terms of getting more involved down here in helping teaching classes. He's been teaching the AB class. That's one of the special editing rooms. And he's also there to help out other crew members. He's helping out tonight in the control room doing audio. All those little clips you hear, those audio clips. Sean, just bringing those out there. He's also as dependable as one can be. Please join me in welcoming Sean McKinnon. Let's hear it for all these members. Oh, I'm sorry, Sean.
Come on here. I'll just like to say one thing. I'd like to thank Leo Jordan, #1, for making me a part of his show, Salem Now. It's really been a great learning experience, honing in my directing skills. I'd like to thank Bob for giving me a chance to get very frustrated helping him in the edit room. I'd like to thank that. I'd like to thank Dave for always being good. I'd like to thank all the staff, Bob, everyone. You guys are great.
Okay. Just to let you know, this is the acknowledgement that gets hung up in our lobby, and all these names that you see, these people in front of you, their names will be on this. And check it out in the lobby. Maybe next year you might be on this plaque. So, thanks a lot. Now, it's out of these people we're going to pick 2 or 1. Okay. All right. We have something new that we wanted to do. The staff got together and said, look, it's Mardi Gras. Let's lighten this thing up. And what we've decided in doing is something a little different. All these people up here, we happen to have 2 crowns. And I don't know if you've ever been to New Orleans in Mardi Gras. They always do a crowning of a King Rex of the parade. Well, this is a float, believe it or not, and it's coming up the street, and we need a king or a queen. So we decided to vote for 2 people of this group that you guys will vote by applause of who you think should be the king and queen of Mardi Gras. So, am I holding the hand over the head? I guess I'm holding a hand over the head, or I'll point. And you applause will determine who it is, okay? And the top 2 most applause getters will get the crown, okay? All right, so we'll go over here and let me get behind. We'll start down here. David Muncher, what do you got? All right, stand by, Joel. Joel Ortiz. Queensy. Bob Shea. Leo Jordan. Sean McKinnon. Bill Ferrick. Ian DeFazio. And Mike Kenny. Let me confirm with my Okay, after brief consultation with my fellow staff person, we have decided that the new king and queen of the 1999 Mardi Gras here in Salem is Leo Jordan and Deanne DeFazio. Deanne. You queen that. Come on up here, Leo. Take that out. You got a new hat now.
Stand down there.
Yes, get down there. Gotta get a picture.
Yeah,
Take a picture. Get a picture. All right, try to get that flash direct. Here it comes. All right, great. Thank you.
All right, we're going to do this right now.
Okay,
Thank
yeah.
you.
All right, let's take them off.
All right, thank you.
Okay. Now it's a. All right, take your crown and sit down. What's going on?
Right now,
Oh, you.
the staff would like to
Yeah,
make
come on up. The staff.
a quick little exception to thank someone who's been very special to all of us, who really makes our job 100 times easier, is a great contact in the community, and who without, I don't think we would have had half of the food this evening, or a lot of the other work that's been put together at the last minute.
Let me just say. Also, you know, he mentioned this earlier about what a board member does. And he is always there for us. And not only us as staff, but you people and members, the members of Salem Access Television. This fellow has just always giving. And we want to appreciate that. and our token of appreciation
We'd
is this
just
award.
like to recognize Charlie Walsh.
Charlie,
Thank you very much.
Get up.
We have a little certificate for him, as well as a gift certificate for him to go out on his own without all of us. Thank you so much.
It's a day short. St. Patrick's Day was yesterday. I really have to laugh because the young fellow here said he wanted to say hello to Mom, and somebody else wanted to say hello to Mom, but I have to look up at him and say, hi, Mom and Dad, I'm here. But what I will say is, hi, family. You people are terrific. I really enjoy it. Have a great time. Have a great night. Thank you. I appreciate the award.
All right, and now on with the show.
All right, thank you very much, Ron. Great job. Just briefly, before we invite the chairperson of Salem Access Television to come up and talk, I'd just like to talk about our supporters just briefly. Please, please frequent these restaurants and businesses. They have contributed to our event, and they are very important to us. I hope that you will give them your business. Brothers Deli, CMR Roofing, Eastern Bank Charitable Foundation, Claire at the Hawthorne Hotel, Jennifer at In a Pig's Eye, Kiki's Chinese Food, the Lyceum Restaurant, George Harrington, New England Power, well, we all give to them, Salem Beer Works, there's Rick at Salem House of Pizza, Salem Now, Leo Joden, great job. Shaw's, there's Fred, who helped us out with subs this afternoon from Super Sub, the Rio Grande Cafe, the Ward 2 Social Club, Ziggy's, the 99 Restaurant, and thank you again, Michelle Johnson, for 285 Live. Right now, I'd like to invite Laura DeToma to come up and announce the election results. Laura.
Ken has handed me 2 or 3 different pieces of paper. So,
Yeah.
okay, so I'd like to announce the winners of this year's election. 3 members to the board are Charlie Walsh, John Martin, who actually had to take his children home, so and we'd like to welcome David Moynes. So, thank you very much. Do you want to stay here with me for a second? We have one other thing that we'd like to do is, this is sort of a little bit of an embarrassing situation. We called to have flowers, so I'd like to have Kathy and Jennifer come up. But when I called this morning to talk with Bob to make sure we ordered the flowers, Jennifer answered the phone. So I said, well, we need to have flowers for some retiring board members. It's the only thing that I could think of. So, so I'd like to present this to Jen and to Kathy. It was very hard. You did a nice job. And we're so glad you're finally here, Kathy. I'm so glad too.
Well, what else can we say? Has this been a great meeting or what? All right? Great meeting. Yeah. Again, it's really been my pleasure to act as the MC for this evening. Again, my name is Robert Mio, and we look forward to next year's event. Thank you, and good evening. Oh, there's desserts outside.